Welcome to day 18 of the Prune and Bloom challenge. Before we get started, I want to invite you to a workshop that I'm doing tomorrow. It's in the Life Atelier community, my free community, and it's the self-trust pruning. Wait, let me read. What are we actually doing? Your self-doubt pruning session. Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is 3 topics. Why self-trust is the missing piece in creating clarity and decisiveness, how to assess the health of your self-trust for where you are and where you want to be. I think that's a really, really interesting piece because it's about looking at what you want to create and thinking about, okay, what do we need to do with your self-trust to get you there versus what your self-trust is currently creating. And then we're also going to look at the 3 essential tools that you need in your self-trust repair kit. I think of this as like a sort of bike puncture repair kit for on the go. So self-compassion, your central nervous system, and your future self. So we're going to be doing that at 11 a.m. CET, which is Paris time. And I'll put the link for it under this video and under the podcast episode, in the podcast episode, around the podcast episode. So today, what we're doing is we are pruning not having a bedtime. So what we're going to allow to bloom by getting rid of not having a bedtime is a really beautiful evening ritual, a bedtime ritual. Now, I want to do that because it's something that I'm not alone, I think, in struggling with this. I see it as like my constant nemesis. When I have a lovely nighttime routine and I don't have big lights on, I have like little lamps all over the house, and one of my tricks is I put a candle. I have this like beautiful earthenware candle pot, so it's pretty fireproof, which is a very important thing. And what I'll do is I'll put the tea light inside there just as it's getting dark. And so I don't actually switch on the light in my bedroom all evening. It just stays with this like kind of cozy cocoon. So then when I come in and I go to sleep, I'm just like a little budgie and I go straight to sleep. Now, if I don't do that, what happens is I end up switching on a big light to find something. That light sends time to wake up signals into my brain. And then I end up like, oh, I'll just read this book on my iPad and I'll just do this. And then suddenly it's midnight or it's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm not sleeping well and I don't feel good. So when I have that ritual of this is the objective today, is to get a really good bedtime, the next day, everything is better. I don't feel like I need a nap in the afternoon. I don't feel like I need a 3rd coffee, or I don't even feel like I need coffee. Like I have my espresso because I like the buzz. So when we do these things, when we make this commitment to pruning a habit that isn't working for us, what we're doing is allowing a really beautiful, amazing ritual to take its place. And if you think about what is it costing you? So when you don't go to bed on time, and when you don't prioritize looking after yourself with that incredible high quality sleep that you can get, what happens is it's costing you having full presence and energy in the day. And it's like this cycle because we never, I remember a friend of mine saying to me years ago when I was still a smoker, he said, you just need to not have one cigarette. Like you don't need to think about giving up smoking forever and ever. It's just that one cigarette. Like if you don't have the next cigarette, you're not a smoker. So you just need to think about not having that one. And it's the same thing. Like we think this amazing person of who we are tomorrow, the person that we are tomorrow, they're going to be really good at going to bed and at having a bath and having this wind down routine where they do things like put a paperback book in the kitchen so that they have a look at the paperback book instead of their phone before they make a cup of tea in the evening or whatever. And we give them this responsibility. And of course, what happens is we wake up and we're still ourselves. And we haven't made that change because we've given it to future us who is invented right now. And what we want to do is to think about, okay, what can I do today? What change, what little action step, what thought can I have that is going to make life easier for them tomorrow? Okay, so the topic is sleep and creating a sleep routine, and just taking one little step towards having that sleep routine, which might be, like I mentioned, it might be changing your lighting, it might be swapping the time of your last coffee, it might be making a commitment to turn off your phone, it might be taking a decision of not having doing social things in the evening because bedtime is the biggest priority. And actually, instead of sacrificing your social life, you plan some really amazing lunches, coffee mornings, doing things with your friends that are finished by 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. so that you prioritize your bedtime. So that's the example. But actually, what it's teaching you to do is how to look after yourself and how to have this like extravagant level of self-care in all other areas of your life. Because if you can get the hang of having a good bedtime, or for you, it might be about diet, or it might be about, getting haircuts and looking after yourself in another way, it makes it much, much easier to make those other changes in the other areas of your life. I promise you that, because what's happening is you're telling your brain, you're telling yourself, I am important because I am. And I look after myself because I choose to look after myself, because I believe and I trust myself that it's worth doing. Okay. So it seems like it's not relevant for other things, but trust me, it really, really is. So I'm going to put this video and this audio into the podcast, and of course also the course version of this challenge, which is inside the Life Atelier. So I do invite you to come and say hello in the community and let us know what your action step is and how you're getting on.